The message came at 2:13 a.m. I'm in the hospital after a mental health crisis, because of you. The blue light from my phone screen stung my eyes. My first reaction wasn't worry, it was disbelief. The kind that crawls under your ribs and whispers, "This can't be real." Sophie hadn't texted me in 3 days. We'd fought that Friday night. A brutal, circular fight that left both of us bleeding without blood. I'd told her I needed space. She'd said I was running away again. Then silence. Now this. I sat upright in bed, staring at her message. My heart hammered so loud I could hear it. Hospital. I muttered, already typing back. What happened? Where are you? No reply. The ticking of the wall clock became unbearable. I threw on a hoodie, grabbed my keys, and drove. No destination, no plan. Just motion. The city felt too empty for something this heavy to be happening. Sophie wasn't fragile, not in the traditional sense. She was fire. She'd argue philosophy at 2 a.m., call me out on my silence, make me laugh until I couldn't breathe. But she also had shadows she didn't like to name. Those long, quiet days where she'd vanish into herself, and I'd have to guess whether to reach out or step back. Our last fight was about him. No, not even a real person. At least, that's what she'd said. He's just a friend from work. He's been through some stuff, and I'm helping him. Don't be jealous, Aaron. But jealousy wasn't the word for it. It was intuition, that crawling sense that something was shifting between us. The way she'd smile at her phone, angle it away, the late-night work calls. I'd tried to swallow it, to trust her, but I'd seen this movie before. And now, this message. The hospital. Because of me. At dawn, I drove straight to St. Luke's. My hands shook as I parked. My mind rehearsed the confrontation. Her pale face, maybe tears, maybe apologies. Maybe I'd hold her hand, whisper that we'd fix it. At the reception desk, the nurse frowned at the computer. Sophie Palmer. I asked. She typed, waited, then said, room 302. But visiting hours start at 9. I'll wait. So I sat in that sterile hallway, staring at beige walls that reeked of antiseptic and sorrow. Every door that opened made me jolt. When 9 finally came, I stood. Room 302 was half-lit, curtains drawn. Sophie sat by the window, legs curled up, hospital gown loosely tied. She turned her head slightly when I entered but didn't smile. Her eyes looked like she hadn't slept in days. Hey, I whispered. You came. Her voice was soft, detached. Of course I came. What happened? She looked down at her wrist, a faint bruise, a band of 4 tape. Panic attack. Or something worse. They're not sure. I exhaled. Relief tangled with guilt. Why did you say it was because of me? Her lips trembled. Because it is. You don't look at me anymore. You don't see me. You just watch for mistakes. That's not fair, Sophie. Isn't it? She smiled. Bitter. You started pulling away the moment I made a new friend. You didn't even ask how I was. You just assumed I was cheating. I opened my mouth, then closed it. The truth sat like acid on my tongue. She turned back to the window. Do you even know his name? I didn't answer. It's Ryan, she said quietly. He's married. His wife just had a miscarriage. He talks to me because I listen. That's all it ever was. Her voice cracked on that last word. Was, I repeated. So it's over. Sophie didn't answer immediately. Her silence felt like gravity. Finally, she said, I don't know. He stopped talking to me 2 days ago. I think she found out. That's when she gestured vaguely at her hospital bracelet. I froze. Wait. He stopped talking to you. You mean? I loved him, Aaron. The words hit like a physical blow. She said them so simply, like confessing to leaving the lights on. For a second, everything inside me went white. My brain couldn't form words. Just noise. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered. It just did. You were distant, I was lonely, and he made me feel alive. I snapped. My voice echoed too loud in the small room. Her face twisted. You think I wanted this? You think I wanted to destroy everything? I turned away, pressing a hand to my forehead. The room spun. The antiseptic smell, the steady heart monitor, it all blurred. So that text, I said, barely recognizing my voice, you weren't saying I caused the crisis. You meant we did. Sophie wiped at her eyes. I didn't know how else to make you come. I stared at her. For a long time, there was only the sound of machines and my own pulse screaming in my ears. I walked out without saying goodbye. Outside, the sun had risen, too bright for what I'd just heard. The parking lot shimmered with heat. My phone buzzed, another message. Aaron, please. I'm sorry. I didn't want you to find out like this. But it wasn't from Sophie. It was from Ryan's wife. The number was unknown, but the message was unmistakable. My throat tightened. She told me everything last night. I thought you should know the truth. The truth. I sat in my car, staring at my trembling hands. The world had inverted overnight. Sophie's breakdown, her confession, this message from a stranger. And beneath it all, one unbearable question. Was any of it real? That night, I couldn't sleep. I replayed everything. The first night I met Sophie at that art exhibit, the way she'd said, I like the way you look at things. I'd believed her. I'd thought we were unbreakable. At 2:13 a.m., exactly 24 hours since her first message, my phone buzzed again. This time, it was a photo. Sophie, sitting on the hospital bed, holding a note that read, You were right. He didn't love me. He went back to her. I'm sorry, Aaron. I didn't reply. I couldn't. Because for the first time, I didn't feel anger or pity, just a hollow understanding. She hadn't betrayed me because she stopped loving me. She'd betrayed me because she didn't love herself. And maybe I'd betrayed her too, by seeing her unravel and doing nothing, by mistaking silence for strength, by loving her too carefully when she needed to be held recklessly. When morning came, I drove to the hospital again. Room 302 was empty. The nurse said she'd checked herself out. No forwarding contact. No note. Just a clean, white bed. The kind of emptiness that doesn't echo, it absorbs. And as I stood there, the truth settled, heavy and final. Sometimes betrayal isn't just sleeping with someone else. Sometimes, it's making someone believe you'll still be there when the darkness comes, then not being there at all.